I'm Amber Davies, and this is your 5-minute call. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hello, welcome back to your 5-minute call with me, Amber Davies. Now today, I've got someone on the couch that is a very old friend of mine. We do go back years now, but he is currently playing Fiero in the Wicked tour. It's the fabulous Carl Mann.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. You look so freaking handsome.
Thank you. You always look beautiful.
I love the hair. I love everything.
It's my flicky era. That's what I'm calling it.
It is very like wolf. There's a wolf cut thing at the minute, isn't there?
Yeah.
I love it.
Just a bit more shaggy. I like it.
The shaggy look.
Yeah.
So the first thing I ask all of my guests is, have you got a pre-show ritual? Now, it doesn't have to be for Fiero. It can be for any character that you've played.
I think I have a different one for each show.
Okay.
For this one, it sounds really cheesy, but like I have these elastic bands, like workout bands, and I have to do 15 arm pumps.
Before you go on?
Before I go on.
Is that more of a superstitious thing, or is it just you just do 15?
It started out as a vanity thing, and now it's like just creeping in, like I have to do it. And if I don't do it, then I'm like, I didn't do my arms. But also there's this like tour jump in Dancing Through Life, and I'm not like the best dancer, so like I always do it at least 2 times before going on.
I love
the bit whoop.
Yeah
I have to do it.
You do it every single time.
Yeah, right before I go on into my cart, into Fiero's cart.
I love that. So it's arm bands and the Fiero jump twice, at least twice.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
I love that.
Have to.
So let's just talk about how we met.
Okay.
So Carl and I worked together in Archer Street, didn't we?
In Soho.
Archer Street is a bar where performers in between jobs kind of work, don't they?
Yeah, there are so many people have worked there, so many good performers. Your sister worked there as well.
Jade
we used to hide
there.
in the kitchen and make cheese boards.
We did all the time,
Yeah,
and we used to
cheese.
drink on the job.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody that. So what we used to do is we used to
Get the drinks.
Sell the drinks,
the
take them
cocktails.
round.
And then stand on a table
And
maybe
sing.
every 25 minutes and sing a song.
Sing a song, any song that you like. It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was fun. It was a really good, humbling experience, because that was my first kind of, I wouldn't say first muggle job, but like the first time I was like, okay, I'm doing this now, like to get to my next thing.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't so lucky to like jump straight into a West End show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't actually worked before doing it. So
a job at all?
I had.
Wow.
No, as in the West End.
Sure. Yeah.
So I graduated and basically went straight to Archer Street.
Wow.
In between looking and auditioning. It's amazing. So if you're looking for a job and you're in London and you're in between shows or in between auditions, this is a good place to work.
You get to make so many friends as well.
You make so many friends. It's like
Like-minded
it's in
people.
Soho, so
Yeah.
loads of people from the industry go in. Like, it was fab.
Yeah, I had a great time. I couldn't do it again.
No, I couldn't.
We worked until like 2 a.m.
Yeah. And we'd probably have a lock-in after and carry on drinking.
Maybe on a Saturday night.
So let's talk a little bit about because you didn't train, did you, Carl?
I didn't go to drama school. I had a very like weird route into the industry.
And I want to know about it, because I feel like sometimes people think you're never going to work in this industry if you haven't trained.
Exactly, yeah.
We've got somebody sitting here who hasn't trained and has had an amazing career. So please go from the beginning.
I just think everyone's got their own journey. And like when I was growing up, I did do like local shows, and I went to dance school.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Margate in Kent.
Amazing.
Sunny Margate. And like I always knew I was going to be a performer. Like that was just like a fact. Like I knew it was going to happen. But drama school and like theatre school, like, you know, stage school was not in, I just didn't think about it. And so I left school. I was always performing and training growing up. I left school and I was like, what am I going to do? And I just auditioned for a cruise and I got it like at 18. So I went away and did that.
On what cruise?
That was Celebrity Cruises.
And were you just a singer?
Yeah, production singer. And then I did that. And I always knew I wanted to go to the West End and do musical theatre. But I just didn't take the route that a lot of people do. And just kind of carved my own way and like kind of learnt on the job doing cruises and stuff like that, and then other productions.
So how did you get an agent?
I got an agent through someone I knew from the ship, and she was like, I've just signed with this agent. And I was like, okay. So I went and sang for him, and that was that. I think I was quite lucky that I have like a different look, like I'm mixed race. So, you know what I mean? I think I had sort of like in there. Yeah.
And you got a cracking voice.
Thank you.
You know. And so, you know, did you ever think about going to train, or did you not have access to it?
I don't know, like it was, I went to like a grammar school. So like my dad was like very like, you know, A-levels, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I was more focused on that, even though like I didn't want to. I ended up getting all A's though.
Wow.
I know. All A's at GCSE.
That's
few A stars.
amazing. What did you do for your A-levels?
For A-levels, I did music, English, I can't remember now, religious studies, which I'm not religious at all.
Wow.
I don't know why I did that.
It's so interesting though.
Yeah, it was more about the ethics. I like the ethics side of it.
Yeah. And then you just thought, I'm not going to bother with drama school. I just want to try in this industry.
Yeah, I think maybe my whole thing about life was winging it. I just winged it.
Everybody wings it. I genuinely think nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Just wing it.
Yeah.
Did you
make a step, make a move, keep going, going, you know?
Have you ever felt judged by anyone in the industry for not training?
I don't think they necessarily judge me, but I feel maybe like if they're like, where do you train? I'm like, oh, I didn't train. And they're like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, they're judging me, but they're probably not.
They're not. So
you know
it's
what I mean?
More of like,
Yeah, and I do, like, when I first started doing West End stuff, and they would be like, oh, these are the Laney lot. Oh, this is the Erdang lot. So I felt a bit left out.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm here as well, so,
yeah.
you know?
I worked, do you know Jordan Benjamin? You might not know him. He has just been cast in Hamilton, and he was my Goldie in Back to the Future.
Oh, was he in Little Big Things?
Yes.
He's so talented.
Yeah,
He's
he didn't train.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's the first person I've worked with who hadn't trained, that wasn't a celeb casting stamp.
Sure, yeah.
And I just thought, you wouldn't tell.
Yeah.
At all.
He's got such passion. Like, when I've seen him on stage, he's got such passion. And I think that helps a lot. Like, if you haven't gone to drama school, like having your own passion for it and willingness to learn on the job, or, you know, taking classes. Like, I still took classes. I spent time in New York, and I went to an acting studio in the day, so...
You've basically just done it in your own way without spending thousands and thousands and thousands.
I went the long way, but I definitely got there.
So would you say not going to training is the long way?
Yeah. I think everyone has their own route, but I think going to drama school is like a good thing, because you kind of get your foot in the door a little bit, and you're not having to like knock on doors as such.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Now let's just reel off some of the things that you've done. Okay. You've done Tommy and Aladdin. They were both in the USA.
Yeah.
We Will Rock You, which was on a cruise, and it was cover Galileo.
Yeah.
I want to know everything about that. And I want to know your thoughts about cruises as well, because I've done one.
Yeah.
Tiger Bay, Starlight Express, Proud, most recently Death Note. I saw, because I follow Amy Atkinson and you obviously, so it looked insane.
It was really cool.
So we'll dive into that. Sure. And Juliet, did you love it?
I did, yeah. I love those songs.
You did the workshop. Honestly, this popped out to me because I don't think I've ever really spoken about workshops on here, so that I think that would be really good to talk about, and like the importance of being involved in a workshop if you get the opportunity to. Great British Bake Off. Love that.
It was beautiful. It was really nice, yeah.
So you then you were cover Fiero in town, and now you're playing the role.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be friggin' wild, but we'll delve into that as well.
100%.
Firstly, I want to ask, why the hell would you come back to England after working in America?
Well, when I went to America, I got this visa. It's called the O1 visa.
I've got one.
And it is like you pay like a few grand for it, and like you have to prove that you've done bits and stuff. But when I got it, I didn't realize that you couldn't directly do Broadway, because you had to have a green card, and I didn't have a green card, so I couldn't do Broadway. So I was doing I did stuff in LA, I did like this kind of like regional production, and then I was like, yeah, I just want to do West End. Yeah. And then maybe go back one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like audiences are different here to there?
I guess it depends on the show, but I think audiences are quite wild in America.
They are. I've just come back from America.
Oh, yeah?
I went to see a few shows on Broadway.
I bet they're crazy.
Ham. The audiences are like on crack.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I feel like if I was on a show on Broadway and they were my audiences, like I'd live it up.
You'd feel electric.
It was like when we went to see The Notebook, and every single time one of the main girls would belt their tits off, the audience would go crazy. And I loved it. I was living for it. I can imagine some audience members would be a annoyed.
Yeah.
But like born and bred, we love stuff like that, don't we?
Now it's time for a quick interval. Go and powder your noses, and we'll see you in 2.
So, I want to talk about cruise life.
Sure.
I've done a cruise, so I feel like we can go into a bit more detail about it. But covering Galileo on a cruise, like, wow, that must have been insane.
I didn't get to go on though.
Did you not?
I did not get to go on.
See, you've learned all that material and you actually didn't get to do it.
That's why, like, now, like, having been a cover, I've been a cover that's never gone on. I've been a second cover that, like, rarely gets to go on. And so now I'm so, like my covers, like, I want to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure they, you know, have the chance to go on.
When you build up naturally, you have that, you feel for them, you have that
100%.
heart. I know I always make sure my covers go on.
Yeah, like, we're all in it together, you know.
I've done,
We're all in it together, and, like, I'm just so lucky that I'm playing the role, but you guys are also capable of doing the role. And it's just the way that the casting has done it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Cruise life. Talk to me about it. What were your thoughts? Can you explain to us what the average week looks like on a cruise?
I guess it depends on, like, how long your cruises are.
Yeah.
Like, say it's like a 7-day cruise, like, you probably do, like, a little welcome aboard show. And then you might have, like, 2 production shows that you do.
Yeah.
And I think you would do it, like, say, like, on the second night you do two shows of it. And then 3 days later you do the other production show. And in the day, you, like, kind of just go to the beach and
I mean,
and sunbathe and go to the gym. It's quite cool.
It's dreamy.
Yeah, I couldn't do it ever again.
Could you not?
No.
No, I don't think I could.
Because I like my freedom. You are a bit restricted, and you, like, have to, like, stick to their timetables and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
So
a good
very
way to
much
save
rules.
money and see the world.
Save money, see the world.
Yeah.
You
And
meet
learn.
amazing
Yeah.
people, you know? Where did you travel on your cruise?
I've done so many routes.
Oh, have you?
So I've done, like, 3 or 4 cruises. So I've
Oh,
done
wow.
the Caribbean, I did Hawaii and Australia.
Wow.
I did a bit of Asia.
So imagine if you hadn't done that, you would never have seen those places.
I've ticked off so many countries just because of cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love, you're saving money, you're seeing the world. That's
partying.
why and partying.
You get to party.
Yeah, it's a great nightlife
It's
on a
fun.
cruise.
Yeah.
I remember when I got offered my cruise, this was when I was 19, and it was the itinerary, the route that was like, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see these countries.
Where did you go?
I did half of the USA and the Caribbean.
Okay.
6 months.
We had a great time, right?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I
was
spent
fun.
Christmas Day in Antigua.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
on
you
a
never get to do that in real life.
No.
You know?
I saved so much money. I was a newly grad. I couldn't book a job on the West End. And I just thought, who wouldn't do a cruise?
100%.
I do feel like there is a little bit of a stigma in our industry about cruises, but I
Yeah.
do feel like that's lifted a little bit
Yeah.
now. Like, there's so many, they're amazing. And, like, I know so many people who go from West End to touring to cruise
Yeah.
and bounce
It's a
back.
viable option, you know what I mean? Like, it's a job.
Yeah.
And if you need the money, then go do it.
And I just can't believe you didn't get... So you're covering Galileo
Cover Galileo.
and you didn't play
I didn't
him.
get to go on.
The thing is, though, when you're signing up and you get offered a cover, you know that that is a potential chance.
I
that you
mean,
won't go
obviously,
on.
like, in town, like, you get holidays and stuff. So, like, the first cover is always going to get to go on. So
Yeah.
the second cover might not get to go on, but there's a good chance that they will. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, being a cover, you just have to, like, wait your time. You know?
Yeah, it's so difficult. And then, obviously, with touring, you all get the same holiday.
Yeah.
We do as well.
Yeah.
So basically, when you're in London, when you're in the West End, you can book in your holidays. Everybody has holidays at different times. On tour, it works a little bit differently. So you're allocated a holiday and everybody has a holiday at the same time, which is very much harder for covers to go on, swings to go on. Although Jay's been on
Yeah.
so many
Loads,
times.
yeah.
My sister and Carl are working together at the minute on Wicked, the tour. And she's
She's on all the time.
All the
But
time.
that swing usually does go on quite a lot because she covers people who have covers.
Okay.
So then if they go on, then she gets to go on.
You
know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Death Note.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
That was a cool little surprise because I just finished Juliet and I'd already been offered to do the Wicked tour as Fiero. And so I was like just trying to fill the time. My agent called me and was like, oh, there's this show called Death Note. They want you to do the alternate for one of the lead roles. And I thought it was going to be this little like Frank Wildhorn, like quirky little musical. And I started looking at it and like all the videos from like previous productions had like 30 million views. Like it's like this big deal because it's like anime.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big deal. And it was really cool. It was really fun. The fan base for that is like insane because they come up dressed as the characters from
I
the
actually
anime.
don't know much about it. I saw all of your guys' pictures
Yeah.
and I remember thinking, this looks absolutely epic.
I'd probably say it was probably the coolest thing I've ever done.
Really?
It was so short, but it was like, yeah, it was just so cool. It was so different.
And who were the people you were working with? Amy Atkinson?
Amy Atkinson, George Maguire, Joaquin,
Yeah.
and I was alternate for Dean John Wilson.
And did you go on?
Yes, yeah.
You did?
I set shows, yeah.
6?
Set.
Oh, set shows.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
great. How
Yeah.
long was the run for?
It was only 2 weeks,
Beautiful though.
Yeah.
I love gigs like that.
but it was so cool. And I think they're trying to do another production. So if you go and see it, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's so different to anything like that's out. Yeah, it's quite dark as well.
Is it dark?
Yeah, it's quite
If you've seen the show, please comment and give us a review because I love
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And Juliet, tell me everything.
What a gorgeous show.
I know.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see
I've
it?
seen loads of stuff on YouTube, but I
gosh.
didn't physically get to see it in
Yeah.
person, unfortunately. I was in Back to the Future, so we
Yeah.
clash. When you're in a show, you can't go and see
Yeah.
other shows because you
Unless
have
they've
the
got
same
like a
schedule.
matinee that's like not on your day.
Yeah.
But and Juliet was I saw the show and I'm like the biggest like Britney fan, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Ariana, like all that music. And I went to see it and I was like, this show is like so up my alley. And when I was about to leave Wicked, I got an audition for it. It's one of those auditions where like you know when you go into an audition and it's like, this feels so right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm probably gonna get this.
Did you have a feeling?
Yeah. Sometimes you think that and then you don't. But this time I was like, I think I'm going to get this. Everything just clicks. Yeah. And then I got it.
I
It was
love that. I
amazing.
love that you had the confidence to be like, do you know what? I think I'm going to get this.
Yeah. But obviously if you don't, then it's like, wah, wah. But like,
Sobbing for days.
yeah. Like, oh, well, I tried.
I don't actually think I've ever been like 100% sure I'm getting something.
Really?
Never.
Yeah.
Always have like a little bit of like imposter syndrome in the back of,
Of
my
course,
mind.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is there somebody else that could
Yeah.
get it? You know? And how long did you do that for? A year?
I did a year, yeah. I did the last cast. It did like 2 years. And I did the last cast.
And the difference, because obviously right now you're on tour with Wicked
Yeah.
and you're playing Fiero, but you have done Wicked in town.
Yeah.
Were you first or second cover?
So this is like the coolest story. I don't think we've talked about this.
Tell me everything.
So I was second cover Fiero in Wicked in town. In
What
West
year
End.
was that?
I joined in 2018 and then I did a second year in 2019, but that like got cut short because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So we went back for a little bit after COVID. And then as I was leaving, I'd already got Anne Juliet, already like been offered the job. So I left I left Wicked and I had 3 weeks off to just kind of chill. I had a holiday booked to Mallorca. It was amazing. And then everyone in the new cast of Wicked got COVID. So like,
Right.
everyone was off, like all the Fieros, the Fiero covers, the new Fiero who was off. So like, can you come back and play Fiero for 2 weeks? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, let's
For
do it.
this amount of money.
Yeah, literally. And so I did it for 2 weeks, and then I did it with Lucy Jones. She was offer.
No, I didn't see you. I saw Lucy do it,
yeah,
but I didn't
she was
see
amazing. She was lovely to act opposite. She's so amazing. So it was like a 2-show day on one of the days, and the Broadway producer was over to watch the new cast.
Okay.
So there's me, like just left as second cover. And then, so he watched the matinee, and then the company manager called me between shows and was like, the Broadway producers want to talk to you. And I was like, they're going to send me home. They think I'm terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, why are they
everything
calling
running
me?
through your head.
And they were just like, you blew us away. You're so amazing today. I was like, wow, okay, thank you. And then I was like, they're going to call me back. Something has to happen from that. Like, they didn't call anybody else. And then maybe like a year later, my agent called and said, you've been offered Fiero for the tour.
Did you not even audition for it?
I did it. I didn't have to audition. I was on my way to Sainsbury's. I just done warm up at Anne Juliet, and then I was on my way to get a little snack. And then he's like, "You've got Fiero on tour," and I was like, "Okay."
Did you not think twice?
Yeah, it was pretty much like I have to do this. I had auditions for other things, but like I kind of felt like I had unfinished business with the show and the role.
Yeah.
Do you know
So
what
you
I
went from second cover
mean?
to playing the role.
Yeah.
That is just insane. Like,
Yeah,
Is-
it's cool.
is it a difficult role to play?
It's not actually. It's like it's kind of a fun role because like the hard work is all Alphabet and Glinda.
I know.
They work so hard. Those girls work so hard. But Fiero's cool. He just gets to come in, has a little bit of fun with dancing through life and mixes
Stamina.
things up. A little bit. That first song is quite hard. Like, I'm out of breath
Yeah.
by the end of it, trying to sing.
So how long is Fiero on stage for?
Maybe like not even 20 minutes. I don't know.
Up! Oh my God,
I'll have to count
now.
it. Yeah.
Count it tonight.
Okay.
Send it to me.
Okay. Or if you put in the comments, how long do you think? And then we'll
How
guess.
long do you think Fiero is on stage
I bet somebody
for?
out there knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I have some questions here from the public.
Okay.
Well, this is one that I just like to ask you.
Yeah.
But what is your career highlight so far? I mean, you've had an insane career and you've literally done like
I've done bits.
everything.
I voiced it's not come out, and I don't know if it is going to come out, but I voiced like an animated movie, and we got to record at Abbey Road Studios.
Wow.
I know. So like there was like this like 200, I don't know how big it was, but like a huge orchestra that recorded all the songs and stuff, and then I got to go into the booth and like do vocals and then the dialogue for this film.
What's it called? Can you say?
It was called Cosmic Rhapsody. I don't even know if it's out or if it's coming out, but it was really cool. I always wanted to be like a Disney voice, so that was like the closest I've got.
I mean, babe, there's still time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that could snowball
I'd
into
love to
something
do
else.
that.
Is that something you'd love to do then?
Yeah, I think TV and film is like definitely a big goal of mine.
I feel like, you know, once you've kind of ticked roles that you've wanted to do on tour,
Yeah.
town, cruise.
And 8 shows a week is hard. It's really hard to not like on the body, but like mentally and also like trying to find. I won't say lose the passion for it, but like it's hard to like keep the same show every time.
Well, it becomes a job.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, oh my God, your job is so fun. It's exciting. It's like, well, it is a job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's relentless. It consumes your life. Your contract consumes your life.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're restricted for that whole year.
Especially if you're on tour. Now, that's what I wanted to ask you. You've done town, you've done tour. What is the difference?
In town, like you go to the same theatre every day and do the same show every day. But on tour, it's kind of cool because you're in a different theatre. Like we're doing monthly venues, but I think you're doing weekly, right?
Yeah, I'm jealous of that.
I know. So we get to go every month. We get a new theatre in a new city, and though there's a different buzz, like
There
at the
is.
start of every month, like there's new audiences, there's a new theatre, so it mixes it up, and I think it makes it a bit more exciting.
I feel like after doing town for a year, loved it. I didn't know, am I going to love tour?
Yeah,
I love it. I
Do you?
absolutely love it. I love the fact that we get to like sing the score in all those different theatres because it feels different in all of them. This is a question from the public.
Okay.
How do you go about learning a script and score in the time frame of rehearsals? So what's your like go-to learning mechanisms?
Repetition, like just keep saying it as much again and again and again and again. Get your flatmate, get your boyfriend, get your girlfriend, whoever, get your mum on the phone and just like say it again and again. I think that's the only way for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think?
It depends what type of brain that you have.
Yeah.
I'm a writer. So I have this weird thing where I write each line down. Well, firstly, what I'll do is if we've put the scene up on its feet in rehearsals that day, I will try and be off book that night
Yeah.
with that specific scene. So I don't try and learn it all at the same time. I do it scene by
little
scene.
bits. Yeah,
Yeah,
chunks.
and I'll work on what we've worked in rehearsals that day.
Definitely.
And what I do is I'll write the line out 3 times on paper. And then that I feel like after that, I know it.
I have this really cool thing with like song lyrics
Yeah.
that I do. So like, you know, especially if there's like repeating choruses and stuff or whatever, but like I will imagine the first letter of each line and do it alphabetically. So say like the first word is bin, da 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 da, da
Yeah.
and the next line is like go, something, something, something.
Yeah.
I know that B becomes before G, so like I know, do you know what I mean? Like when I'm
That's
singing, I'm
so
like, I think that
good.
G's next, or yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, that's your mechanism.
Yeah.
I think you find it, but I don't know about you, but music I can learn quite quickly.
Yeah,
our
melodies,
ears.
it helps to have a melody.
It does.
100%.
It does.
Yeah. I'm
Is
quite
it-
good at learning lines though. I did this in lockdown. I did this like 21-day self-tape challenge. So they would give you a it wasn't a big scene or a big monologue or whatever every day, and then you would have to film it. Like you got 24 hours to film it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called like 21-day self-tape challenge or something.
There we go.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
That's a great way
so
to
I would
learn.
learn stuff quite quickly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really good for our listeners.
Yeah.
I friggin' hate doing self-tape, so I should probably do that myself.
Yeah, it's good.
And then we only have one more question left. We don't have any more time, but you have been amazing. One thing that you can only learn by being on the job.
Okay, one thing that you can only learn on the job is to be nice.
Oh my God, everybody says that.
I know, but honestly, like, we've all worked with people that are just like give you a bad vibe, a bad energy, and like you don't want to be around them. But like if you can just be like a good person, you don't even have to fake it. Just be like nice.
Yeah.
And be courteous, and yeah, and I think that goes so far.
Do you see how many times our guests say that? I think it's so important to listen. Like, it is about how you treat others.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because when you're a part of a cast, you're a team.
Definitely.
It's not just you. Unless it's a one-woman show, then eat your heart out.
Yeah.
And it's not just be kind to the cast. It's be kind to absolutely everyone in that building. Front of house, wigs, wardrobe, lights.
Like they're all there to like get the show up and to make you look good, and like so you just got to support them and just be nice. And
Yeah.
also it's more fun. If
It
everyone's
is
nice,
so
it's
much
so
more
much
fun.
more fun. Yeah.
But hopefully, well, Carl is in Wicked. Where are you guys? In
We're going
Bradford.
to Southampton next.
But you're in Bradford now.
Bradford now, 1 more week.
And Pretty Woman is in Leeds, and I think we might go out on Thursday.
Yeah.
So if we do, I'll insert video of us doing a shot together.
Okay, I'm up for it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. You've
Thank
been
you.
amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Carl Mann, everyone.
See ya.
See you next week.